spent in a miserable way.
U.S. news activist who confronted Jeff Flake over Kavanaugh will attend State of the Union. The activist who confronted a Republican senator in an elevator during the debate over Brett M. Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court will attend President Trump's State of the Union address as a guest of Rep. Alexandria made headlines in September after she and another woman blocked the doors of a Capitol Hill elevator to speak with then Senior Jeff Flake. The women described themselves as survivors of sexual assault and tearfully urged Flake to reconsider his position. The encounter was Ocasio-Cortez called Arthur a hero as she announced the news. She was planning on leaping into that elevator ahead of the Kavanaugh vote, but after hearing the stories of survivors across the country, she went in. Ocasio-Cortez, another advocate for sexual assault victims, Amanda Tomasho, will attend as a guest of Rep. Elizabeth Watkins. The women's presence at the State of the Union will invoke the Me Too movement at a time when cases of sexual harassment and assault have fallen out of the headlines. Last year's audience, Senior Edward J. Mark, I thank Bashir for her commitment to climate change action, and look forward to working with her to implement bold and transformational solutions to the climate crisis, Markey said in a statement. Another figure from the headlines will attend the speech as a guest of Republican Senior Tom Tillis said, evangelical pastor Andrew Brunson was detained in Turkey on charges of espionage in 2016, straining U.S.-Turkey relations. He was released last. It's an incredible feeling that nearly 1 year after I first met Pastor Andrew Brunson in a Turkish prison, where he faced an effective life sentence, I now have the honor of welcoming him and his wife, Ora, as my special guests to the State of the Union, Tillis said in a statement. Tuesday night will mark Trump's first address to Congress since Democrats took a majority of seats in the House in November. He is expected. Some Democratic lawmakers will protest the administration by boycotting the speech. The thought of spending Tuesday night in the House chamber listening to the reckless, self-centered man who occupies the White House holds no interest for me, Rep. Earl Blumo said. Nate Mook, Executive Director of World Central Kitchen, the organization founded by Chef Joseph to provide meals to people in need, would attend in his place. Rep. Steve Cohen Rep. John Lewis Deeger. Democrats are eager for Trump's audience to reflect their policy priorities on guns, immigration, transgender truths and climate change. At least 2 people with ties to last year's mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, will attend the speech. Cameron Kasky, a student survivor, and Manny Oliver, whose son Joaquin was killed. Oliver, who became an advocate against gun violence after the shooting, will come as a guest of Parkland's Congressman, Rep. Ted Boyd Rep. Lucy MC Buck was elected in November after a campaign that focused on strengthening gun laws. Her son Jordan with Democrats who have launched or are weighing presidential bids are also using the speech as a messaging opportunity. Senior Kirsten Gillibrand. At least 3 other Democratic lawmakers, including Rep. Jackie Speier, Senior Elizabeth Warren, another possible presidential contender, Senior Sherrod Brown. Protesting Trump's immigration policies were a significant theme for Democrats as they selected their guests. Rep. Adriano S. Rep. Donna Shalala Rep. Nydia M. Belt Rep. Ilhan Omar D. Art Gallegos Jr. of Gainesville, will represent another side of the debate. Invited by Rep. The Latino community is one that is, so many times as you well know, portrayed in the mainstream media as being against the president or being against what's going on at the border, and that's just not true, Collins said Monday on Fox News. The recent partial government shutdown inspired many Democrats to invite government workers. Senate Minority Whip Richard J. Durbin D. Illinois. Senior Chris Van Hollen, Rep. Gerald E. Connolly. Other Democrats are seeking to call attention to global warming and other environmental problems with their choices. Rep. Tremolo J. Apple, Rep. Chelapingre D. Rep. Kathy Castor D. Some lawmakers, including Sens. Mitt Romney are other lawmakers invited guests whose work is relevant to their states or districts. Rep. Sherry Bustos, you are now subscribed to. Please enter a valid email address. You might also like
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.